In the town of Black Hollow, the trail behind the old forest has been effectively erased from local conversation. Residents don't walk it, they don't dare their children to go near it, and they treat the tree line as a physical border that should never be crossed. This timeline shows a 10-year stretch of total inactivity following the disappearance of Eakin Cole. 10 years ago, the only thing recovered from these woods was a single flashlight, lying in the dirt, still powered on. A driver named Mark encounters this silence firsthand when his car suffers a total mechanical failure on a rainy stretch of road. With his phone showing no signal and the nearest town miles away, he is stranded at the forest's edge. At his most vulnerable moment, a narrow dirt trail appears through the brush. It looks like a shortcut, a perfectly positioned path out of the rain. Mark views the path as a solution to a frustrating night. He grabs his gear, steps off the asphalt, and crosses the tree line. The forest relies on these small physical inconveniences. By breaking a car, cutting a phone signal, and forcing them from shelter to step into its perimeter. The transition occurs the instant the threshold is crossed. The environment shifts, isolating the traveler from the world they just left. The rain stops. It doesn't taper off or drift away. It ceases instantly, as if a physical barrier has been dropped between the trail and the storm outside. An unnatural silence follows. No wind in the canopy, no insects in the brush. The only remaining noise is the sound of Mark's own boots, heavy against the dirt. In this silence, the forest introduces a new stimulus. Faint whispers begin to echo through the trees, distinctly repeating Mark's name. Without the natural sounds of the outdoors to ground him, Mark is forced to focus entirely on these whispers, his attention narrowing to the internal world the forest is creating. Once the target is disoriented, the geometry of the woods begins to change. The trail uses repeating landmarks to maintain the illusion of progress. Mark passes the same twisted trunk and jagged rock, unaware the path is no longer straight. When he turns, the way back dissolves into shadow, leaving only the loop. Mark eventually spots a light through the trees. He runs toward it, hoping for another person, but finds only an old flickering flashlight lying in the mud. In the dirt around the light, there are thousands of footprints. They form a deep, worn groove in the earth, evidence of someone who spent years walking this same tight circle. The forest doesn't need to hunt. It simply distorts the landscape until the victim is physically and mentally exhausted by the repetition. This exhaustion serves a specific purpose. The forest requires a presence within the loop to sustain itself. A figure emerges from the darkness. It is tall and impossibly thin, its face a distorted blur. When it speaks, its voice is a discorded layer of hundreds of different people speaking at once. This was the person who left the footprints. They have been held in this loop for a decade, unable to leave until a new person arrives to take their place. As Mark tries to run, the trail beneath him shifts. The trees move inward, creating a physical wall that funnels him back toward the center of the loop. The next morning, the roadside reveals nothing out of the ordinary. Mark's car remains where it broke down, door open, engine cold. Deep in the woods, the cycle resets. A new, modern flashlight flickers on the path, and fresh tracks form in the mud as Mark begins his first lap. Black Hollow is a self-sustaining engine. It survives through this constant exchange, trading one life for another to keep its endless circle in motion.